People who left their partner the day of the wedding. What happened? My wife's family has a story from the early 1900s in which a bride and groom had courted mostly by mail. The day of the wedding, bride got cold feet. The family was trying to figure out what to do when the bride's sister piped up and said, "I'll marry him." The groom thought about it for a few minutes and decided he was in. The wedding proceeded as if nothing had happened, and they allegedly were married 50 plus years and produced a big happy family. We called it the non-wedding. It was a very small backyard do, and when we showed up, a relative of the groom ushered us out back and whispered that the wedding was off. They had all this food and to help ourselves. Apparently just that morning, the groom found out that the bride banged the stripper at her bachelorette party, but his family said they'd already spent all the money on the party, so they'd just tell people when they arrived. It was one of the most awkward experiences of my life because the groom just sat dejectedly in a chair while people tried to cheer him up. We ate a little out of obligation and then got the hell out of there. Obligatory, not me, but bride's best friend decided the wedding was the perfect time to announce that bride was secretly pregnant. Problem is, groom was religious and saving himself for marriage, and bride agreed to it. They hadn't had sex before. Turns out she had been cheating for most of their relationship because of this. I believe she planned on waiting until after they had sex and telling him the child was his. Turned into a very interesting situation where groom's parents were very upset. Thinking he broke his promise of abstinence to them, bride's parents were celebrating the pregnancy. Bride and groom both had looks of absolute horror. My friend did this like 20-some years ago. She was engaged to a guy from a very well-off family. The wedding was in California, but they were living in Seattle. Very posh, very expensive. But the MIL was always a bitch to her. Right at the beginning of the reception, the MIL came up and said some nasty things to her in whisper, thinking she would just take it again. She lost it, families got involved, and she ended up on a plane back to the PNW that night. Her family had already started moving her things out of the apartment that evening. Never spoke to him again. Kate, I don't know if this counts, but 6 years ago in March, my fiance and I decided to postpone our wedding. The weekend the wedding would have been, he left me home alone to go spend the weekend with his parents. We lived an hour away from our parents, didn't have cell service or Wi-Fi, no landline. His parents posted all over FB that they were celebrating him not getting married to me and were celebrating his new girlfriend, a friend of ours he constantly told me not to worry about. My mom screenshot all the Facebook posts, drove an hour out to where I was and said, "Hey sister, what are we going to do here?" I took a hot shower and cried, then we packed all of my stuff up and left a letter to him on the dining room table with the ring. Later, he texted me asking, "Is this what you really want?" I replied saying, "Nope, but it's what I need."